What is up, HeelCast Nation? We are in for another HeelCast tonight. Got a pretty big lineup compared to our last few shows. So without any further ado, let me introduce Goldberg. Goldberg is back on the HeelCast. What's up, Goldberg?
What's up, boys?
Also joining us tonight is the man of 1,004 names. He is known as AEW WCW Dude. What's going on?
What's up, Hurls? I did just go by WCW Dude because that's like the one promotion that cannot fail me. Just can't happen. They already did, actually. It got bought. Fuck, I hated that.
It's the one thing, the one ex-girlfriend you'll never get over, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
But
I really miss her.
You don't have to miss her too much. All you gotta do is tune in Dynamite on Wednesday nights on TNT. It's the same shit. It's even named the same. Dynamite, Nitro. Got the same stars. You'd be surprised. Chris Jericho, Sting, still going strong. I heard they got a big guy coming back too. Heard it here first.
Giant.
That's right. Hey, look, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, they're still there. Waiting for somebody to roll out Lex Luger in his wheelchair.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Oh, no. I think they might even bring back Dusty Rhodes in a casket is what I'm hearing.
Oh, God.
I think Luger versus Darby Allin, it would be a fair fight.
Oh,
You think Darby would have a chance? Oh, no.
That's tough. Probably not.
Maybe if they took Luger's wheelchair away from him, then it would be fair.
Oh, man.
Oh, anyways, WCW, dude, why don't you go through our plugs?
All right. First of all, let's not forget ImpactAsylum.net, home of the HeelCast. Let's not forget our buddy Andre Corbeil, right? The Wrestling with Wrestling podcast, right? We got Petey Williams. What else do we got going on besides Petey and those guys? Who am I missing? Oh, Larkin. Right. So if I have 1,004 names, Larkin has like 28,000 podcasts. You can find them all. Everything from fatnakedchicks.com. I hear he's doing that these days. To Max Wrestling Podcast. To let's see. He's got the Pop Culture Podcast. Right. I mentioned the Fat Naked Ladies one. Did I mention the MMA one that he's got going on?
Lingerie
fight. That's right. I was gonna say Glow. He's probably got one of them too, to be honest with you. I can't keep up, but our boy Larkin, you know, he was down and out for a little bit. He's come back strong now, so we can't forget Larkin. I think if we just plugged all of Larkin's podcasts, we'd probably catch everybody else too. Just process of elimination, right? I missed somebody. Who else did I miss?
We got Wrestling with Andre Corbeil.
Got that. Petey Williams, right?
Petey Williams, the Wrestling Perspective.
Perspective. Yeah, those are the important ones right there.
I mean, FK9, obviously.
FK9 doesn't need our plug.
No, he doesn't. We need his.
We need his plug, right? Send him some money.
Right. All right. Well, yeah, that's pretty good for plugs. So I think we can move on to the big news of this week. Paul White, the Giant, a.k.a. The Big Show, signed with AEW in, I would say, one of the most random news stories that just comes out of 10 a.m. on a, Monday? Tuesday? Might have been a Monday or Tuesday, but I don't know. This one hit me by surprise. What did you guys think, Goldberg?
I mean, I was completely shocked. I mean, when you think of, I guess we're going to call him Paul White, or I feel like they've been referring to him as the Big G. I mean, did you guys see that?
Oh, the Big G. That's kind of a take on both of his names there.
Yeah, a couple AEW guys have called him the Big G. So, I mean, I was completely shocked because when you think of the Big Show, you think of a WWE lifer. I never would have thought he would appear on any other wrestling program ever, especially with the Netflix deal and all that stuff. So, I mean, completely surprising. I'm intrigued to see what happens, and that's another thing that's going to get me to tune into AEW. So, just another thing to let me down when I watch.
I was expecting it with all the news this week. I was kind of expecting him to show up as, the new spokesman for Coca-Cola, but that's a different story. Paul White.
Woke Coke.
I'm just saying. They'd probably change his name. It wouldn't end well for anybody. I was shocked too, to be honest with you. I didn't see this coming from a million miles away, but he's a guy I didn't like it when he left to begin with. So I was kind of glad that he came, but yeah, this is I don't know. I guess if like John Cena showed up, that might be more surprising, right? Randy Orton showed up, that might be more surprising, but this is a hard one to imagine that it happened. I just hope that they don't bring him back in and have him debut by like chokeslamming Sting or something. I mean, if they start doing this, him and Sting and I know I made the comment about Dusty, but it could easily be Dustin, right? Because he's there too. It's just I don't know. Let's see how they use him. They said they're going to use him as a wrestler, so we'll see. I liked his Netflix show, to be honest with you. I'm kind of pissed off that I'm missing my Netflix show, but
Yeah, this one, like like you said, I thought he'd get in the WWE Hall of Fame and that would be it. But thing is, he's like mid-40s. He still can go, and he will be used. Here's a question I want to pose to you guys. Now, WCW Dude, you obviously didn't really see a lot of his WWE run, but I thought as long as it was, and yes, he did win titles, but I thought it was kind of underwhelming. He put so many guys over, and he should have never put as many guys over as he did. He should have been, my opinion, booked more like Andre the Giant, not losing to Rey freaking Mysterio. So I honestly think he was never used to his full potential in WWE. Goldberg, you've probably seen a lot of Big Show in WWE. Do you feel the same way, or do you think he was used just about right?
No. I mean, I have a running joke with my father, who doesn't watch wrestling anymore, but I mean, the Big Show, I would say he's been booked as a joke for the majority of his WWE. I mean, he's lost, like you said, to Rey Mysterio, he's lost matches that he should have never lost. He should have been dominating for years. And, yep. I mean, he should have, honestly, like, I guess there was no other option, maybe, in the past, but, I mean, this is a long time coming. He's been booked as a joke for a long time. And here's a question I wanted to ask you guys is, I see, first of all, I didn't know he was only in his mid-40s. I didn't know he was that young still. Here's a thing that I keep seeing online since the news broke, and the same thing with Sting is, well, as long as these guys put other people over, as long as they get these new guys over, why do they have to get people over? Why can't they be booked still on top? Why does Sting have to put people over, and why does the Giant or the Big Show or the Big G, whatever the fuck his name is, have to come in and put people over? Why is George Clooney putting people over and acting? Like, he's still like doing what he does.
I'll take a stab at that one. because booking doesn't know how to get people over anymore. Look, it was well known back in the 80s. Every single person wanted to wrestle Hogan. They all wanted to wrestle Hogan, and Flair too. You make the same comment about Flair, right? They were different promotions. They all wanted to wrestle those guys because they didn't necessarily win the match, but they all went over because they were so good at putting their opponent over. Because, wait for it, Goldberg, they sold. Okay, that just by wrestling Hogan, just by wrestling Flair, you got over with the fans. Win, lose, draw, it never actually mattered. You got over. Nowadays, nobody puts anybody over. It's freaking super kick party. I mean, you get hit in the head, by 2-3 kicks, you're dead, right? You get them simultaneously, and the next thing you know, you kick out at one, right? Nobody sells, so nobody gets to put anybody over. So they need these old guys to put these young guys over. These young guys can't get them damn selves over, right? And nobody knows how to put anybody over except for the old guys. And then it's just like, well, we don't like you because you're old. It's like, no, bullshit. Everybody knows that, after 30, 35, that's when you just start to hit your damn stride. Now, here's the thing that I got for you. Maybe since he's been such a joke in WWE all these years, maybe when he goes back, because inevitably, he's going to go back for a Legends deal. Let's not kid ourselves. They could reintroduce him as the new Taker. The new Taker. Think about it. The Big Show, the new Taker. Yes. I'm just saying, it's a terrible, terrible, terrible joke. But then again, it always was. So at any rate, yeah, I think Goldberg, to answer your question, it's because they think that's how you get the new kids over, and the new kids got to get themselves over. There's only one guy out there right now I think does a good job at getting himself over, and that's because he never breaks kayfabe, folks, ever.
I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I agree. MJF. Yeah, okay.
No doubt, MJF, absolutely.
Yeah. I agree. I'm so sick of hearing that Sting needs to put people over and the Giant or the Big Show needs to put people over. If this was if we're supposed to believe that this is a legitimate wrestling program, which it hasn't been for the 2 years they've been on TV, otherwise, to be honest, their champion probably would be Billy Gunn if this was legitimate, because he's fucking 10 times as big as anybody else in the roster. So, I want to see people who I want to see the Big Show and I want to see Sting win matches. So I don't give a shit about them putting over these fucking guys these no names. I mean, is it even possible to put these losers over?
No.
Even if they tried?
No, Marco Stunt's never going over. And I got to tell you something. I'm really glad you brought up Billy Gunn, because the little bit they actually put him in the ring just as sort of like a sideshow and they need an extra hand. Dude's legit. And he looks more crisp and more legit than anybody else on the roster when he's in the ring. I mean, like, why they're not using him more, and they got to put Butcher and Blade and Brandon Cutler and Marco Stunt and all these other morons on my TV screen. B.A. Billy Gunn, let me tell you something. He still sells. He still knows how to command a ring. He's a general. Like honestly, you're right. You're right, Goldberg. He deserves more of a push than most of these morons do.
I know.
Well, why did they stop using Diamond Dallas Page? That's the other question. I'd still trot him out there. I don't even care.
Listen, I love him, but he did kind of look old. Billy Gunn still fucking looks
yes. Yeah.
like a god.
A tank.
Yeah. He looks tremendous.
See, because he's still on roids, dude. Let's not kid ourselves, though.
Okay, but that's fine. I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Sadly, I don't either.
Who was the guy that John Moxley destroyed in 3 minutes? Cornette was having a field day with this one. The guy looked like Bruiser Brody, but he had a freaking good look to him. Mark C or something. But they gotta use that guy.
When was that? Not this past week.
That was about a month ago, I want to say. Yeah,
this past week he squashed Ziggler's brother.
Yeah, the Hollywood guy or whatever. Yeah.
They buried him pretty quickly.
Yeah, Ryan Nemeth.
Yep.
The Hollywood hunk, Ryan Nemeth.
Quick burial for him.
But got a lot more potential than Darby Allin or Jungle Boy, though. I'll tell you that much.
He's got a good look.
That guy who Moxley squashed, though, about a month ago, or Cody Rhodes, I can't remember. It was one of the two. That guy looks like Bruiser Brody. Not necessarily the same character, but he had that look to him. I'm like, wow, this guy, they should develop a character for this guy, because he could. I see potential in this guy. So
why? They got Hobbs, right?
Yeah, that's true.
What did they see? Does anybody understand what they see in Will Hobbs? I mean, he's a big guy with no look, no charisma, no character. But why?
I don't get that one.
Since we mentioned Bruiser Brody, we should probably mention that Josephus passed away.
Oh God, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that guy. That guy had one of the coolest storylines of 2018. I want to say it was 2018 or 2019.
He had me tune in to NWA to see him fight
Magnus.
No, the school principal guy. What's his name? The one who was a champ before Magnus.
Oh,
Storm.
Yeah, Tim Storm.
Yes, Tim Storm. He's
Storm.
a school teacher or a principal in real life.
Yep.
Teacher. Yeah.
Yeah. So they had a little nice angle on Josephus.
Oh, maybe that's what I was thinking. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking the Tim Storm Josephus angle where that was really good.
He was like
that
a creepy guy. Yeah.
Yes, it was believable too.
Right.
It was believable. It was a really good angle. And
anytime I see that a believable thing, I tune in, and I definitely tuned into their feud.
But
his manager, the bald chick, was
the chick. Yeah.
It added to the creepiness of the angle.
I never understood that angle. I always had questions. Dong.
I got it.
I know it was so bad you couldn't help but get it.
I don't know what it was. Like I think there's a lot of questions, but he played that cult leader really well, and I thought it was just, it was NWA, so it was kind of not a lot of people saw it, but I thought it was really well done. So
my thing was, here's a family guy who clearly loved this kid. I mean, that was a profile picture, and he did soccer with him and everything else. And speaking as a father who goes to soccer practice every damn night, every damn week, seriously 4 nights a week in the middle of the winter. It was warm tonight. It was 40. It's 32 now, so maybe it wasn't 40 degrees, but it was a warm night to be out there. I can kind of relate to it, and to see him lost at such a young age, and to see the kid lose his dad at such a young age. I mean, it's just it's terrible loss. I don't think anybody saw it coming. They said it was either a stroke or an aneurysm. So. Prayers to the family. It's going to be tough for him. His wife apparently is also a professional wrestler. So, it's just it's terrible, horrible thing. I mean, kid's going to grow up without his dad now. It's just
maybe he could team up with -1.
I mean, they got the Bruiser Brody thing going on together.
I mean, but come on, like all right, maybe I should not touch on that.
No, you should touch on it, because I'll tell you what, Goldberg, I'm just going to say it for you. There was a time to put the kid on TV and do the right thing, and now it's like every week. Are they basically saying we did they have some sort of a deal where they paid him whether he died or not, so now they're making this kid take a spot? I'm trying to figure it out. It's too much.
But either way, it's fucking ridiculous. It's so stupid. He's coming out and calling out the troops. Like, give me a break. Yeah. And the Dark Order should just disband because they're fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's. I don't see a future in it. I didn't see much of a future in it before, but
even when he was alive, there
really
was no future.
Yeah. Now it's really.
But enough. Get the kid off TV. They did a nice thing. Now move on.
The Dark Order thing doesn't even make sense, because it's like they're a comedy act now. Like they're going for that. And I'm not even going where you're going, Goldberg, where you think everybody's a comedy act. I'm just saying legit to me, they seem like a comedy act. And the way they act on being the Elite, I know that's not kayfabe. I don't know if it's kayfabe, but they're having like a slumber party and stuff like that. Like
Am I the only person that every time that Jim Ross talks about how jacked up and muscular John Silver is, I just want to stand him next to -1 and be like, really? I mean, I like the idea of the Dark Order, because I like the mysterious faction, the mysterious dark faction. The problem is that they shined a big light on it, right? Now Anna Jay's hurt too. That doesn't help them any. And now, what they really need to do is just have, Evil Uno just take over, right? Maybe beat up -1 and just become the new leader or something like that. And I don't know what they're doing with Hangman Page. It's like, why? It's just like you have nothing better for this guy.
Just wasting him.
It's a complete waste, man. It's just terrible. It's like, what are you thinking? So I agree they probably should just disband it at this point, but I think the concept had a lot of legs. they've had trouble getting it together, and part of it's because somebody decided that John Silver was a bodybuilder on the cover of Bodybuilder magazine or something. It's like 4'3". I mean, for God's sake, they need to. You know what? They need to put him against the Big Show. Right? Just stand next to the Big Show. He'll come up to his knee. Right?
Yeah, you know what? They'd make it a 15-minute match, a back and forth 15-minute match. That's what they would do.
Silver would win it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Well, I want to touch on the company that we usually don't talk about, but we kind of have to because they did make some noise in NXT this past week. Actually, past couple weeks. Eli Drake. Now, we talked about him for about a month ago, and we said, oh boy, we assumed he was under contract till June because that's what was reported, that he signed a year. And we were talking about how he was wasted. But now he signs with WWE, and has a new name, and his new name now is L.A. Knight.
Well, they had to give him 3 syllables.
Right. Couldn't do Eli Drake, so.
I mean, couldn't they just have made him a lawyer and called him L.A. Law? I mean,
L.A. Law, dummy.
Hey, so here's the funny thing is that he's not even from L.A. Dude's from freaking Hagerstown, Maryland, man.
Yeah, where did they get in this California? I mean, I think
he moved there. He moved to L.A., but he's from Hagerstown, Maryland. Don't let the stupid shit,
I don't know. The name doesn't really bother me. I didn't like the name Eli, so it didn't do anything for me.
He made it work.
He did make it work.
He made it work.
First time I heard it, it was I don't know, Eli Drake. It doesn't sound like, but he did make it work.
He's that good where he's gonna make this work too.
I like him. Like him a lot.
I think you should go
L.A. But I'm still worried.
I think you should say L.A. Knight, and they should shut the lights off when he does it. That's what I think they should do.
That would be pretty cheesy, but great at the same time. Oh, goodness. But, yeah, L.A. Knight. We also had the two out of 3 of the Rascals go there, and their names are very, very generic. What is it?
What are
Wes Lee and Nash Carter.
Oh my God!
I believe they're called, and they're called MSK. I honestly don't know what that stands for.
And of course, the black guy's name is Wes Lee, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's 2021. I don't understand how people are like. First of all, it doesn't bother me in the least. Okay, but in all of the political correctness and everybody's a racist for everything, they take Desmond Xavier and they name him Wesley.
Go watch Impact's Lady Tag Team Champions, and tell me that's not the most generically. We've seen a million times the 2 black girls have to be ghetto thing.
I actually think they pull it off quite well, though. I'll be honest with you. I watched only one of the segments because it's I don't get access, so I watch it on Twitch every now and again. And I thought the segment itself was incredibly poorly written, but I thought that they pulled it off about as well as it could be pulled off. And I actually found them fresh, next to some of the stupid shit that we deal with these days. So I get where you're going at with this Goldberg, but you take the black guy and name him Wes Lee, and it's like. But again, it doesn't bother me. But God, how do you not just have people just start screaming, racist, it's racist, the black guy, and then they just switch the names is what they probably do. They're so stupid.
I got 2 points. They already got a black guy named Keith Lee. How many Lees do you have?
Well,
I thought that was so stupid.
Keith Lee was a black guy. Keith Lee was a black guy. Keith Lee was Keith Lee before he was in WWE, though, too. That's his choosing.
That is true.
Teep chose that name, and he decided to keep that name. That might actually be his real name, dude.
I mean, Desmond Xavier is a good name.
Yes.
Why would you mess that up? I don't understand that.
I don't know. You named him Wes Lee instead. It's like, good God above. When you have me claiming something's racist, that's it's bad. Because I'm usually typically like, look, guys, they don't mean anything by it. It's okay. But it's like, oh my God. Oh my God.
I don't get that. But Goldberg, going back to your Kiera Hogan point, do you remember when Kiera came into Impact? I don't know if you were watching at that time, but she was very, very generic she was not doing the, typical as you call it. This actually gives her a character, at least. Yes, it might be generic. Well, it might be stereotypical, but
right.
I think
that's
it's
the word I was looking for.
I think I think it at least works. Whereas she's not just some lame baby face helping out Allie,
Now look, if you have a problem with Keith Lee's name being racist, I think you should take it up with his parents, okay? Because that legitimately is a dude's real name. Okay?
Yeah.
So it's not quite the same as Wesley, although people are going to start to think that they're brothers now because, Kane and Undertaker, right? But no,
Right.
Keith Lee legitimately, that's his name, dude. So that's, and that's not a bad name to have. I mean, it really isn't. Nothing wrong with that name.
Against it. I got nothing against it.
You
but
called
why
it
name another
racist.
guy with the same.
Oh,
with the
I thought
same
you were
last
trying to
name,
say
yeah.
that Keith Lee could only be a black guy's
Oh.
name. I went to high
No.
school with a kid named Keith Lee, and he's white as it all gets. So that's why I was confused about that.
They should have named him D. Vaughn.
That's right.
Anything.
D.
Lee is-
Vaughn.
Lee's the most unracist last name you could possibly have. I mean, I think any culture can have the last name Lee practically.
I didn't get it. It went over my head.
Oh,
What else is new?
that's fine. It's the heel.
So Taya Valkyrie is now the oldest woman in NXT history.
Yeah.
Is that the deal here?
This one, Taya Valkyrie. We knew she was going to WWE to go be with her husband, but she's 37. I had no clue that she was 37. Didn't they just make Mickie James retire? And she's like barely over 37. Maybe she's 38, 39.
Really?
Like,
I feel like she's
How
100.
much of a future does Taya Valkyrie have in WWE? They don't let their ladies wrestle that long. Not at least not to my knowledge.
She probably didn't have a future, no matter how old she was.
Mickie James
Yeah.
is 41.
Okay, 41. Okay,
Yeah.
Not that big a difference.
yeah,
No.
it's close.
I
So
mean,
she's going to spend at least a year in NXT, right? I mean, we're all going to assume that. So she's going to be 38 at the earliest that she can hit the main roster.
How old is Tori Wilson? Because she is, my God, is she still smoking hot?
Tori
I'm
Wilson
gonna
will always be
say
smoking hot.
44. I'll say 44, 43,
Oh,
45 maybe.
I gotta look. Let me look this up.
45.
Yeah.
Tori Wilson is 45 years old.
Oh,
She
wow.
is, man. She still got it.
Yeah. AEW should have signed her.
Right?
Brought her back to TNT.
Maybe they will. Her and Major
It's
Gunn.
possible.
At the same point in time, let's give a shout out to Anna Jay and her injury, right? If we're going to talk about hotties, Anna Jay's freaking smoking hot. And apparently she injured her shoulder or something like that. Isn't that what it was, Hurls? And she's
Yeah,
going to be out for like
yeah.
8 months to a year, something crazy
Yeah.
like that.
Not good, especially for someone who's the good thing is she's super young, but the bad thing is she loses a lot of momentum. So hopefully they'll keep her out there.
They either better
You
keep
know.
her on TV as a valet. I'd love to see her work
Yeah.
with Ty Conti. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ty is also, she's another one that I think she's underrated as a wrestler in that particular company anyway, right? And I think she's a great looking girl too. I mean, she's beautiful. And I think if you use Anna Jay as her spokesman for a while, right? Make her the manager, that does that for Ty. You could probably get them both over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then eventually maybe split them up and have that how Anna Jay winds up getting back in the ring. You know what I mean? But
Oh yeah, when she's ready, when she's fully healed, and yeah, I agree. I think it'd be a perfect storyline for them. Yeah, I'd have no issue with that. But Taya Valkyrie, though, I mean, I wish her luck, but I don't know. I don't see it. She's got, she's probably going to tower over a lot of the WWE women, though.
For sure.
She could, if they booked her right. I mean, first off, they shouldn't send her to freaking Performance Center or NXT.
No, she's established enough, and she's great on the mic, and she's good enough in the ring. She could be right on the main roster right away.
Exactly.
I mean, look at the bozos they had in the Women's Royal Rumble. She could easily have been in there.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Let's talk about Sting, please.
All right. Sting.
Do we have to? I'm terrified.
Sting. First off, we had one rumor that was laid to rest 2 weeks ago when Sting took a powerbomb. So he's not just doing cinematic matches. And Goldberg, you got your wish there because I know you wanted him to be, get physical in the ring. Yeah. And clearly he is. He beat up Brian Cage this past week. So
congratulations, you made it to the level of Tessa Blanchard. And you all knew that was coming. You fucking know it was coming.
Could you imagine if they showed like a thing on the screen with like the people who have beat Brian Cage and like who beat him up? Tessa Blanchard, Darby Allin, Sting. He's lost to a woman, a 61-year-old, and like a guy who weighs like 50 pounds.
Who was it? Nyla Rose that eliminated him in the first?
Yes.
No. Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace, right? It was Jordan Grace. It was. Yes. I knew it was somebody I didn't like. I knew it was one of the ones I didn't like. Yeah, Jordan Grace.
How could he accept this? How could he accept this booking? Like how? How does he not say anything?
I don't know.
He should be the champ. He should be the world champ.
Maybe he's doing more than just steroids.
Bro, I saw that guy at WrestleCon, the only WrestleCon I went to, and I'm not kidding, like in the hour I was there, he probably ate like 12 burgers.
Jeez.
I kept passing his table, and all he kept doing was eating burgers.
I wonder if that's included with his booking fee.
And you know who was cooking those burgers? The Blue Meanie.
Is there?
Meanie was making the burger.
Shitting me?
It's not a joke. That is not a joke.
Who wants
serving Brian Cage?
Who wants a burger from the Blue Meanie? I just expect that he put snot in it or something.
Here's what's sad is that the Blue Meanie, he was delegated to whatever the word to food, to concession. Not enough people wanted this guy's picture or autograph. He had to serve the food.
What was it? The Blue Meanie dating a porn star back in the 90s? Remember that? Do you remember that? I mean, I know WCW Dude didn't watch ECW, but I don't know, Goldberg, maybe you remember it, but
I don't know. I saw his wife now.
Jasmine St. Clair, okay. I want to say.
Yeah.
I thought Blue Meanie was dating her at some point.
Possible.
They were using it as a storyline on ECW. It was kind of shocking, actually.
I saw his current wife, and just don't use Google.
Okay.
Nah, nice guy though. Really nice guy. I'm joking.
Well, he's got his own podcast with So Says Chernoff, so that guy's pretty funny. So I'll give him that at least. Found a good host.
Anyway, Sting.
Yeah, give me your thoughts on Sting.
No, here's before we even talk about Sting, I want your guys' thoughts on this because there's something that irks me every week that Sting appears on television, and this goes back to AEW making everything a joke. Everything's got to be funny. Am I the only one, and I might be, that's annoyed that Tony Schiavone says it's Sting every time he makes an appearance on the screen?
Oh, he does that. He does that because it's an ongoing joke.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not funny.
It's not.
Sting, but Sting is supposed to be a mysterious figure, and when we're supposed to be surprised when he appears. We know he's coming out. We don't need it's Sting every single time he comes out.
He's jumped the shark with that. He should have just did it maybe once.
The first time he came out.
Yeah,
it was worthy.
That's it.
It was
right.
They made so much fun of him the first time when he started. Just the way the pitch of his voice went up. Okay. That everybody made fun of it, and now Tony Schiavone has decided he needs to do it every single fucking time. Now,
I would think he'd be more professional than that, than to be part of the joking thing. That everything's got to be a joke in this company. Everything. Just that really irritated me.
I'll tell you what's not a joke. Blue Meanie really was banging Jasmine St. Clair. This is real. This is real, man. This is a real thing.
I feel vindicated now.
Hurls, we all know if it's fap worthy, you know about it.
What she looks like now.
She didn't look all that great in 2008. She looked very plasticky in 2008. That's the picture that I got up of her.
Oh, wait a minute. She was on Did anybody ever watch the show Son of the Beach?
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, it was like making fun of Baywatch, right?
Yes.
Comedy Central.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was on Son of the Beach.
I want to say that was 2002, 2003 era.
I used to stay up late and watch it on FX when my parents would go to sleep because it was dirty. That show was dirty.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had some hot girls on that show.
Oh, my word. So yes, I do agree with you. It does irritate me. I'm over the fact that it's there.
Yeah.
All right. But they made fun of him. I think it was Jericho made fun of him for the way that he reacted, and they decided that that's the over thing to do. But I think what's worse than him yelling, "It's Sting," is the fact that he's in the ring with Sting. And every week we get treated to Tony Schiavone with Sting. And it's like, oh, good God, we know what's coming. It's Sting! and it's going to be something stupid. So, yeah, it's just...
Here's where I think they should go with Sting. And they'll never do it in a million years because they're the most predictable. All their storylines are predictable. They don't do anything out of the box. Here's what they should do. They should have Darby Allin turn on Sting. Would that not put Darby Allin over, even though he's a 16-year-old boy?
Because Sting would just beat his ass.
Okay, or vice versa. Put Sting heel. I don't give a shit. One of them should turn on the other one. That's the only way to make that interesting. Like,
there was only one time Sting as a heel ever even remotely worked, though. And that was at the head of Main Event Mafia when he didn't have to talk. And he didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let Darby Allin be heel then. This storyline is just too predictable. Is there any way in hell that they're gonna lose to Cage and whoever the fuck his teammate is?
Hobbs? Is it Hobbs?
No, it's probably what's his face from NWA.
Oh, Ricky Starks.
Yeah, it's probably Starks.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we
what?
know Sting and they're gonna win.
No, man. Cage don't do jobs. Cage don't do jobs. Like, these guys don't have tits. Well, actually, Sting might. So you probably know Darby doesn't. Okay.
I don't know. You know what? To Sting's credit, he moved around pretty good in the ring the other day, even though he was out of breath. He still
like
got those
5
quick,
feet.
those quick jabs, those quick jabs, those quick punches. You know, he gave a little stinger splash.
Still can do that.
I marked out a little bit.
Look, you get me Luger in a wheelchair and I'll wheel him into the corner and it'll be a better stinger splash than you saw, right?
Yeah.
Put a little eject button on the back of it will make him fly.
but still, it's, first of all, one, it's predictable, and two, if they actually did a normal tag team match, it might be a good match. But does AEW ever have a normal tag team match, or do they just have 4, 6, 8, or 10 guys in the ring at once jumping all over the place?
Now you know what, though? I'm going to tell you, I actually appreciate that to a certain extent, and I've said that before on the show that I thought Impact needed to do more of that, because ROH used to do a lot of it, and it was a way to get more guys on TV in less time. So by doing these multi-man matches, you are able to feature more of the roster. So I'm not necessarily against a lot of that stuff.
No. I'm not talking about the number of men in the match. I'm talking about the fact that they don't have to tag in and out of the ring. I mean, it's just a free for all.
That's a different story. That when they got there, FTR started bitching because actually it was Jericho. I think that was complaining about the Lucha Brothers not tagging properly, and sat them all down and said, "Look, we have to be better at tags." And I think FTR said something too. They don't do good they don't follow a good tag structure in that company at all. Nah.
Hurls, what are your thoughts on Sting? Are you cool with the way they're booking him?
Yeah, it's okay. I know you're not gonna like my comment, but. How do you book a 61-year-old Sting now?
Well, why does he have to be 61? Why?
Because he's not 60 and he's not 62.
Right.
But why do we have to mention his age? Like, is he not still, like, did you not see when he stood next to Darby Allin? Are you telling me that he couldn't beat Darby Allin up in real life?
No, I'm not saying that. But, okay, you want him in the Good Brothers Kenny Omega. That's kind of where you.
I think Kenny Omega's a loser, so I mean.
Well, you want him to take down the. You want them.
He wants him to win the world title. Man.
Listen,
look.
Mark, there's no question about it. I'm a mark for the old guys, but like, okay, forget the world title picture. I'm not even saying any of that, but like, why can't he win matches? Like, why does it have to be that he has to put over fucking this 16-year-old kid?
He hasn't actually lost the match yet, so let's kind of not die on that.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, I don't think he's going to do a 15-minute match. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he is 61. There are limits, and don't get me wrong, I still think that they ought to bring Hogan in and let him win the title, and then lose it to Flair, okay? And then Flair can lose it back to Hogan, and they, but that's because I'm a mark for the old guys like what you are. But those guys are never going to have a 15-minute match anymore. Those days are gone. So there are limited as to what they can do with him physically. Although I'll tell you, he looks like he's in great shape.
Yeah,
he really does. He dyes his hair. That helps.
I also think, yes, he does dye his hair, but I also think he's one of the guys who, maybe he did steroids, but I don't think he's one of the guys who did hardcore steroids back in the day.
No, I don't think so.
I think
he'd probably be dead.
Yeah,
I hate to say it,
maybe not dead, but I think that ties into him being in tremendous shape.
Right.
I think he did early on when he was with Warrior, and when he was the when he was the before he was the enigmatic Sting, right, with the colorful Sting. I think he did some. I think he stopped doing it then because he got out of shape, 97, 98. I mean, that's why the whole thing with him and Hogan went down the way it did. But part of not being in shape is you're not doing steroids either. So it's kind of funny. It might have actually helped him long term, like you're saying, Goldberg.
It did. I think it did. He's also wearing a shit ton of clothes in the ring.
He was always way more athletic than Ultimate Warrior, though.
Oh, yeah. Everybody was.
He was always... I feel like the guys who do so much steroids, they lose that agility. Like Ultimate Warrior, like, he came back to Raw one night and that pretty much did him in. Went back to Vince and he died the next day. So
it killed him.
Yeah, exactly.
Gorilla Monsoon was more athletic than Ultimate Warrior was. I mean, like,
oh, God.
I mean, like, Captain Lou Albano could do flips better than Ultimate Warrior could.
I think it killed the British Bulldog too, if I remember correctly. He was trying to make a comeback.
It's amazing Steiner's still alive.
Yeah, well, barely.
I don't.
He
barely.
Died, remember?
Barely. Yeah.
He's lucky that Impact had medics.
Have you seen his arms?
If he would have been in, WCW Dude, if he would have been in Ring of Honor, he would have died.
That's right.
Alex Shelley can only do so.
See, you know, Alex Shelley's nearby.
But you think of all those guys from WCW that were built. I mean, first of all, everyone was built back then. Everyone was built. All the tag teams, except maybe the Nasty Boys, who were fat. But everyone else was built like a brick house, right?
Yeah. They were.
I mean, that's why it's hard for me. Oh, God. I know.
I was just watching the 1991 Rumble, and the smallest guy was Shane Douglas, and he was like a rookie, just starting out. Yeah.
Do you think of Steiner and Buff Bagwell, all those guys that did roids? I mean, look at them now. They're all Luger, and they're all in terrible shape. That's why Steiner still looks. I mean, he looks. Yeah, he's aged, but he still looks good. Like he's still.
He's still doing the juice, dude. He's still juiced.
He's still shooting that up his ass. There's no doubt. There's no question.
No doubt.
He's shooting it up his ass.
I'm impressed, honestly, the most with Hogan. Because we all know Hogan was shooting it up, and that dude is still big. Now, he's got the back issues, but they're just from falling with so much.
His arms, he still has those pythons. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Hogan's had like 10 back surgeries, dude. It's amazing he's not in a wheelchair with Luger. They could have a great wheelchair match. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that would be. Yeah.
Ric Flair made it to 72, man. I mean, that's impressive. I mean, what's Scott Hall? I mean, that's impressive. Scott Hall's still living. I mean, with all the crap he went through.
It's amazing.
And Jake the Snake.
And Ric Flair. The fact that Ric Flair is breathing is actually somewhat of a
Ric Flair's in better shape than all the other ones. He's walking around.
I think we just found a way to have a 15-minute Hogan and Luger match. Okay, Hogan and Luger in a ladder match. Okay.
Let me say one thing about. Well, then they could certainly have more than a 15-minute match.
Exactly. Then we can climb the ladder.
About Luger. All right. because
and I got something to say about Luger after you. So
he's my favorite wrestler of all time. I think that we can make that known. I love Lex Luger, and I think this man deserves one more ovation from a live crowd. He's not going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame because Vince McMahon. I don't know if he still hates him or not. I don't know if he still hates him, but it doesn't seem like he's ever going to get inducted. Give this guy one more ovation in front of a live crowd.
Did he just bring him out recently?
He was working for Vince as like some something in the medical. Remember, didn't WWE sign him as like
to tell younger guys not to do roids, I think,
right,
or something like that.
Right.
But I mean, either put him in the Hall of Fame or let him come out and just get cheered one more time, even though nobody will know who the hell he is.
That's crazy to me. It's just because he didn't do anything for the last 21 years.
Wasn't he a Legends Night there recently?
Yeah, he's never been invited to any of those, which is kind of bizarre.
Yeah, they never trot him out there for anything. The only time they ever trot him out is when Sting goes in the Hall of Fame. That was about it.
Right.
But hey,
granted, he looks 85. But
the spot monkey that Lex Luger is, no selling the Dan Spivey Tombstone pile driver that I sent you. Talk about these young guys not selling finishers.
You know what? But he did sell in the WCW days. He definitely sold. He definitely sold.
Yes, he did.
And while we're at it, can we give some respect to Goldberg? I mean, why is he? If I was Goldberg, I would never come.
You are Goldberg. Again. You are Goldberg. What the fuck?
That's true. If I was the other Goldberg, I would never even come out on TV. First of all, they should turn him heel and tell all the fans to go fuck themselves. Anybody who boos him, he should flip them all off and tell them all to go fuck themselves.
But that's the problem with Goldberg. He can't talk on the mic. He never could. If he could, he'd be probably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
I thought he was decent with Mike. I thought he could talk.
He could say "you're next," but if he had to carry a long-winded promo,
compared to the people nowadays, he's a genius on the mic.
Yeah, I didn't think he was bad at all. I actually thought his mic skills were pretty good.
He buckles here and there. He gets lost in his words, but the disrespect that this man gets, my God, why do they hate him so much?
Why hasn't AEW tried to sign him yet? That's what I'm wondering.
That's what I was kind of thinking too. He definitely deserves his Hall of Fame spot, but apparently because of his role with Ms. Elizabeth, he's not allowed to get it. He's not allowed to do anything.
Oh, you mean Luger?
Luger.
Yeah, he's talking about Luger.
Yeah, that's the issue with him.
You know what? They were both doing whatever they were doing.
Because what's going to happen?
Exactly.
He's going to get Jimmy Snuka. He's going to get Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah,
that's exactly what's going to happen. Because if WWE tries to promote him, they're just going to go down that route.
But does anyone you think nowadays fans would call that out and say, hey, that's the guy that killed Miss Elizabeth?
All it takes is one Dark Side of the Ring episode to bring it back into the mainstream.
Dude, they'll do any freaking thing, man. I mean, for God's sake, some chick that's going to wrestle on AEW for Anna Jay got compared to some chick in WWE, and she said the difference between me and her is my hair is real. And Big Swole went off on her, called her racist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did hear about that, too.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, they'll come after you for anything anymore. It's just like you just have to ignore people.
Joey Ryan? Joey Ryan's fighting that. Has anybody seen that? He's hired a lawyer. He's going to court, and he is fighting this thing.
Did you see the pictures he's been taking? They're like family wholesome pictures of him smiling in a white picket fence house.
And he's quoting scripture on every one of his posts.
It's funny. I don't miss that guy. I never liked him. It has nothing to do with whether or not he's a slime ball in real life, which he probably is. But I just never liked his shtick, and I don't miss it on my TV set.
You don't like his shtick.
We've all seen
it. What it is? You know what it is? He's that kind of bullshit. Wait, this goes back to my problem with AEW, and they tried to sign Joey Ryan. I'm pretty sure.
They everybody did. Somehow Impact won because he could still do his indie stuff.
But exactly, that's my problem with his bullshit. Is that thing will work once the first time you see it. Hey, it's funny, but you can't. Cannot be a finishing move where you're fucking suplexing people with your dick. That's not a every week finishing move. It's funny one time on the indies. But that's my problem with AEW. It's basically indie wrestling.
Yeah. Some of it is. Well, and that's a good point, because a lot of it is, but some of it's not. I mean, their upper end is good stuff. The problem is that the mid and lower end is just traditional indie booking and indie wrestling. And so you're right. And then some of that follows, the style of some of the elite, right? So I think Page is better than that, right? But I'm not so sure that the Bucks are much more than that. So you're always going to have some of that at the top of the card. But I think Adam Hangman Page has a tremendous upside if they figure out what the fuck to do with him.
I thought when the first episode I watched of AEW when they premiered, I thought he was capable of being a star, and I know Hurls doesn't agree with that.
So I'll one up you. I remember him coming in the top prospect tournament when he debuted in Ring of Honor, and you'll love this, guys. Adam Cole was there and Adam Page was there. Everybody gushed over little Adam Cole, and I'm like, this Adam Page kid is better than Adam Cole. Now, it's funny because I still actually believe that, but Adam Cole did kind of go on to be like the wrestler of the year and a pretty big name himself. So,
Hurls, you don't like him, right?
I'm not a huge fan of Adam Page. No. But I actually dislike Adam Cole even worse. I like Omega. I don't know what it is.
And I'm really losing respect for you. I really am.
Hey, you like what you like. You like what you like.
You had respect for Hurls?
Right.
Do either one of you listen to Cornette ever?
Occasionally.
Have you heard them talk? They talk about Omega and his promos. How he sings them. I heard they talked about this, and now I can't stop listening to it. Every time he gets on the microphone, he sings his words. He sings his promos in like a little Japanese kind of way. Like I can't even like mimic it.
Send me that.
I need to listen to this.
They talk about it every time they review one of his promos. They'll talk about it and they laugh about it.
Who's the host? Brian Last.
Yeah.
He can't even stand Cornette half the time. He has to argue with him because the guy is so out of touch. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, he does. Yeah, he does. He puts Cornette in his place sometimes. But,
right.
But I agree with most of the stuff Cornette says. I really do. I think AEW is so poorly booked. And I'm not like, I think it's so poorly booked. They have so much talent. And if it was just booked correctly, I really... I don't know.
Who is well booked though? Who is well booked?
Nobody.
But does AEW have a 72-year-old man impregnating a 29-year-old woman? Has it gotten that bad yet?
No, but they have Jericho and MJF beating up a 72-year-old man last week on AEW, which was fucking stupid.
Oh, the Young Bucks dad, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just so predictable. It's just so. There's just no surprises.
But here's the thing.
And why couldn't the Big Show be a surprise? Anyway.
It's not like repetitive like WWE Raw, where I'm watching 3 hours of paint dry, because we have these matches every week. Like WWE, it's just quantity over quality, and it's been that way for like 20 years.
Let me take a step back. I am in no way defending WWE in any shape or form. So I don't want. I'm not competing. I think they both suck, and I think Impact sucks. I think they all suck.
You think all wrestling sucks?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't think there's... I'm trying to think, like, what's your guys' favorite storyline in wrestling right now? In any company.
I like the cross-promotion stuff.
Yeah, I think trying to figure out what's going on with the Elite.
What do they really do with that? What have they really done with the cross-promotion stuff?
Well, it's still going. It's
a slow burn.
It's too early to judge.
It's a very slow burn, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're teasing with you, and they're teasing with you, and they're teasing with you. I'll tell you this much, so you guys mentioned the Bucks dad. Am I the only person to look at that dude and went, well, there's that receding hairline. I know where it came from. I mean, come on, you thought it.
Absolutely.
I thought he kind of looked like Ricky Morton.
He does. I thought it was Ricky. I thought it was
Robert Gibson. You mean Robert Gibson?
Oh, yeah, Robert Gibson.
Not Morton.
Yeah, not Morton. Yep.
I thought it was him. Looks just like him.
Yeah, it really does. But
I don't know. I also think that the heavyweight champions in Impact and in AEW are just the wrong guys right now.
Wait a second now. What's wrong with no? This I want to declare this.
Oh boy.
Since the TNA title was made official, Moose is now the real world's champion.
Okay, yeah. Here's what makes no sense. He's fighting.
Rich Swann is the mid-card champion.
Fighting Rich Swann for the title at the next pay-per-view, and they're fighting for the Impact title. Well, they just declared the TNA title a heavyweight title. So why is that title not on the line?
So
because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
No,
that's why.
So you guys have to explain this to me, because I didn't see Impact this week, and all I keep hearing about is So what you're trying to tell me is that Scott D'Amore comes out and he says the TNA championship is the real championship. Rich, you're the secondary champion, but you have to defend it against Moose. No, okay, good. So what the hell was said?
Nothing. Scott D'Amore came out and declared the TNA championship an official title.
Moose wanted a title shot, and Scott D'Amore's like, you know what? I'll give you a title shot. From now on, the TNA title is now an official title. I don't know. He used some other wording, but he basically said it's now an official title, and you're defending the title tonight. So that's pretty much how it became official.
So basically what they're saying is we're not going to give you a title shot, but he has a title shot.
They gave him the title shot.
They gave him the title shot,
which makes no sense.
By making his title a legit title.
But doesn't he have a title shot with Swann?
Yes.
But he did get one because he won the main event. He beat Jake something.
Y'all are complaining about AEW booking?
He retained the title that they just made an official title, and now he's fighting for the Impact title, and his title is not on the line. Only the Impact title is.
Correct.
But that makes
so much sense.
But that makes the Impact title the main title then, right? Because that's the one. That's the one that he wants.
I was running with that the TNA title is the real title because it wasn't held by a woman before. Oops, I'm gonna get in trouble for that one.
Yeah, you probably are. You just got deleted.
Yeah. I just got deleted.
You just got deleted.
Zuckerberg's banning me for sure.
How dare you say something like that on the air?
Right. How dare you? But
do you have any respect for women? I mean, come on.
But that was me just kind of running with, well, okay, now you're going to make the TNA world title legit, so I'm going to treat it as the top prize. So that was just me. But anyways, I want to get into Impact before we have to sign off here because there's a couple news I want to hit.
Yeah, let's do that. We got to roll through.
I really can't understand this whole Sammy Guevara Impact thing. Like what's true and what's not true, because we've heard so many different sides. Obviously, Meltzer's trying to say that it was Impact's fault and this. I don't know if there is a fault, but I just want your guys' take on it. Is there anything to this, or is it just blown out of proportion? Goldberg.
I couldn't care less.
Okay. Dude, WCW Dude, you got anything to add to this?
Yeah, all I can say is if it's true then, let them handle it. Let them deal with their own damn laundry. It's their business to deal with. It sounds like they barred the guy from the building. So whatever he did, it pissed them off. And they went, you know what? This is not how you're going to treat our partner. And they dealt with it. And it sounds like they dealt with it appropriately. But we don't know. I mean, you hear one thing and then a day later you hear something completely different. Sammy's making fun of it because he's saying it's all false, of course. Let them. You know what? Let them deal with their own shit for a change. It's not our problem.
So he wanted to win the title and not drop it. Is that
that's what they said?
That's the story. Yep.
I don't really see anything wrong with that.
You're Sammy.
I mean, because who was he going to beat for the title? TJP. Pretty. I'm not.
I like TJP.
I like.
You won't get any negative. Well, Rohit's good too. Rohit's great, actually. Gosh, that guy, man. As soon as you started saying how good Rohit was, like I knew how good his wrestling was, but I never, his character work has just been phenomenal lately.
As soon as they broke him off of that stupid tag team, he ran away.
He's just shined.
I know.
I
really like him.
I would like to see him. Since the Impact World title now is the mid-card title, I'd like to see him get a shot at the Impact World title.
You know what? He would have been a more believable champion than Rich Swann.
Well, he's taller and he's bigger.
Yeah, but you like
so you
Rich
got a
Swann,
point there.
So.
You got a point. And then to like further put more fire on this story, you got frickin' Nick Aldis, who's never shied away from a controversial. I'm not doing anything relevant in wrestling, so I got to make my, I got to put my 2 cents out there. He says that Impact stars go to his house for a quiet drink, and they said that the AEW stars were a little cocky. So I guess he's talking about Private Party, and I'm going to guess that James Storm was the guy that goes to his house because he also lives in Tennessee. So, because James Storm and Saban fought Private Party. Maybe, but I don't know. Nick Aldis, though, he was the guy who was yelling at Willie Mack after he signed with Impact Wrestling. He's like, "Oh, you should have signed with NWA there, Willie." Yeah, how did that turn out?
I just
phenomenally
well. I always remember the article that Sting said that Nick Aldis should have been the next big thing in wrestling, and that's why he was put in. He was put in the Main Event Mafia, right?
The second version.
Yeah, because Sting loved him.
He was never in the GOAT version.
Sting said that Aldis should have been the next big thing in wrestling.
Yeah, he was. He was never that good. He was always a little bit green. Now, if we're going to talk about guys and signing and karma, let's talk about EC3.
Oh, yes, we got to touch on this.
We got to touch on EC3.
What a waste of a talent.
You know what? He did it to himself. Karma came and got him.
Ring of Honor, why? I mean, if you've noticed, though, Ring of Honor has gotten really aggressive with locking down their talents, and then...
What channel are they on?
I have no... Channel... I have no idea.
Sunday nights at 11:30.
Okay, so I just want to do this real
quick.
quick.
We're on Pluto TV.
The Milwaukee Bucks are on Fox Sports, Wisconsin, and I see ads of some Ring of Honor show on there. I'm like, what? When did this happen? So I have no clue when Ring of Honor's on. I just know
They do have a channel on Pluto, and so does Impact. I think.
There's also TV? Yeah, I do. There's also an Amazing Race channel on there now.
And an American Gladiators channel.
There's actually an indie wrestling channel too. I tried watching it one night. The quality was horrible, but it was different.
I think I saw Championship Wrestling from Hollywood on there.
They probably have their own channel. Yeah. Everybody but NWA has a channel.
Before we wrap up, I'm looking at your Arn Anderson picture, and I'm just remembering Arn Anderson said something today that I wanted to bring up. And now I can't remember what it was.
It's probably something
Ric
with Ric Flair.
Yeah.
No. He said something else. He tweeted. I think it was about the signing of Big Show. He tweeted something today. It was so stupid.
Arn Anderson's been releasing a lot of dirt lately. You heard about his John Cena not wanting AJ Styles.
Arn Anderson's big statement to Paul White. Welcome, my friend. You will now see all the things I love about AEW, and they will see all the things I love about you. Arn. That's what a tremendous statement.
Hey, at least he texted him.
What an impactful thing to say.
Dude, I lost a lot of respect for him with what Flair said. If what Flair said is even remotely true, and I'm sure Flair ain't no saint, right? Like, nobody ever claimed Flair would be the last person to claim he's a saint, right? But dude, come on, man. How much money Arn Anderson made because of Ric Flair that he doesn't make if there is no Ric Flair? That he can't even call the guy when his kid dies. He can't even call him when he almost dies and just text him and say, "Hey, look, buddy, man. Hope you're feeling good. Love you, brother." Something like that. Like, God, how hard would that have been?
He didn't call him when Rick's kid died?
No. And nor when Rick was in the hospital and almost died. Rick called him out on it.
If Macho and Hogan can make up, then come on.
Man. Yep.
If that story that Hogan said is true, which who the fuck knows?
Well, I didn't Randy's brother, the genius, Lanny Poffo, he said that it was true, so I'll take that one.
Which you have to, because they both said it, but the truth is that Lanny Poffo, he'd say anything, get a little attention.
I'm sorry, what are the odds that they both go to the same doctor and happen to be there at the same time?
Well, they're about the same age, live in the same area.
That's true.
Run the same circles with doctors. Actually, it's probably a lot better than you think, considering all the health issues they probably have. It's probably amazing they didn't run to each other more, to be honest with you.
Well, whoever that doctor is, I think I'll take a hard pass on him.
I mean, Goldberg, that's in your territory. So, Florida, it's just running rampant with wrestlers. So,
yeah.
No wonder you run into Gangrel.
Yeah,
on the
I ran into
streets.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I think we covered everything I really wanted to cover.
Yeah, we had a great show.
Yeah,
Fun.
this was good.
Yeah. So in conclusion, wrestling sucks, right?
I was gonna say it was all because of Goldberg's positive influence on the show. So it made it what it was. Dude, you took the words out of my mouth. I was literally going there, and you beat me to it. It sounded way better coming from you. What was those?
Oh boy. Well, I got nothing. So, Goldberg, any final thoughts on anything besides wrestling sucks?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Sting in the ring, like actually seeing him wrestle, and I want to see what the Big Show has to say next week, or the Big G. I want to see what he has to say.
Call him the Giant, damn it! This is a WCW friendly show.
Goddamn
He
right.
is the Giant.
I think he's the Big G now. I think that's what they're going to go with.
Won the title on his first match in WCW.
And we were all stupid for not realizing, because Cody Rhodes is on a show called The Big Show. We should have seen it coming.
Go Big Show.
Yeah, it's a good Big Show.
Yeah.
Stupid show.
WCW Dude, any final thoughts before?
No, but if they called it the G Big Show, that would be really bizarre. I just can't wait for a couple years from now to see the introduction of the new Taker. That's all. I'm just feeling it. I'm feeling it up. You know what I mean? No, I mean I think that, look, guys, this has been a fun show. It's always good to get on and talk shit with you guys. And Goldberg, you're such a positive influence on everybody. I feel like we should rename this. You should get your own podcast. You could call it the Wrestling Sucks Podcast. Sadly, it'd be the #1 podcast on the web, but
Because
if Goldberg likes anything, that segment was really freaking good. Because if Goldberg gives it a little love, but that's how you know.
We should do a retro show sometime. We should pick any year, 80s, 90s, and just talk about it, because I think that it'd be good for you and I, Goldberg, because that's actually what we relate with.
Was it not stupid seeing Darby Allin zip-lining into the ring? Am I the only one who thought that was so stupid?
I think most things he does is stupid, dude. He skateboards to the ring too.
He zip-lines to the ring. Come on.
Let's do WCW Wrestle War 91, where Luger no-sells the tombstone of Dan Spivey. Let's start with that one, because I think we can have some fun. That show was off the wall anyway.
Well, I still want you guys to watch. What's the one I sent you, Hurls? That I said I have the tapes for.
Oh yes, XWF, right?
Yes, I want you guys to watch.
Yes, we should do.
I need to go on YouTube. Just on YouTube and watch. It's on YouTube. Just watch there's like 3-hour-long videos of XWF, and it had such a WCW feel. I think you both would love it.
I will check that out.
It had its own DVD compilation too. So
Sable was the G.
I remember that came.
And Roddy Piper.
I heard Jeff Jarrett's suing for rights to it.
Is he?
Probably.
Oh,
yeah. Well, at least there was a settlement involved.
It was Brian Knobs' company.
Oh, I think I did check out one of those shows, dude.
And Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yes!
It made a little noise. It made a little noise after WCW folded.
I remember that.
It was essentially
WWE
before TNA.
WWE put it to bed by taking all their talent and signing them.
Yeah. Yep.
So you guys should watch it. You'll both love it.
I intend to.
Yeah, I think I saw one of them once.
You've been saying that for years, so I'm waiting for you to actually watch it.
I know, to actually do it. Well, we were supposed to have David Pinzer on, so.
Yeah, he let us down.
Yeah. All right, folks. Hope you had as much fun as we did. We will see you next time. Peace.
See ya.